Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another DC deck building game. Today's video, we're going to look specifically at the Green Arrow Crossover Packs Redux. It's part of the Crossover Collection too. I will put a link in the description for the full box where we show off the different stuff that came in the Justice Society and the Legion. Let's do quick over the Green Arrow here, but I wanted to specifically make a video just focusing on this. So in the original arrows in the original crossover pack that came out too was the Arrow, which was based on the CW TV series. So then they have updated it now to be the Green Arrow Crossover Pack Redux. So now it's using all comic book illustrated artwork. And now the thing is, now people are wondering, should you pick this up? This Redux, as far as I know, is only going to be available in the Crossover Collection 2. So if you already own the Arrow set, or you already own the other two expansions, you don't want to have to repurchase it, it's going to be up to you. It's your choice. So the big differences are, besides the comic book artwork, obviously, is all the oversized character cards are foiled. Other than that, there's one card that's a little bit different, which we'll look at that. That'll be the last card we'll look at, just to show that. Otherwise, all the rules for the set stay the same. All the text stays the same. Some of the characters' names do change, such as Oliver Queen becomes Green Arrow, Roy Harper becomes Arsenal, Sway Wilson becomes Deathstroke. But the actual effects on the cards all stay the exact same. So we're going to go through each card individually, and you see whether or not you think it's worth it, if you like the artwork, if you really want to get it or not. Alright, so we're going to drop those down. First up, we have the rule sheets here. So we have the 5 oversized heroes, 8 supervillains, 14 main deck cards, and then the rule card. Now this one's also going to mention it had the divider and the randomizer. If you saw the divider that came with it and the randomizer, because these weren't obviously part of the multiverse but big box storage box sets, so we're going to get those in there as well. So I'm not going to read through every single little part of this, because basically it's explaining how you can mix and match everything in. And then just saying you can add each set in there. So add the 14 new cards into the deck. One of the decks, use only supervillains from this pack. New supervillains add dangers. So you order them. Cost from 8 to 15 in order. So then one has a blue back, means it's always the last card you face. So on the very bottom here, it says several cards in this pack are placed under your superhero. The cards placed under your superhero should be kept face down, as they represent secrets your characters keep from each other. You may look at cards under your superhero, but not cards under another player's superhero unless choosing a card from under it. At the end of the game, do not count VP cards under your superhero. So that's the special effect or keyword, or special effect that this set has. So using stuff like that. There's the exact same thing on the top on the original series. And then there's just some card clarifications. I'll hold that there if you like to pause to read any of those. Otherwise, we're going to jump right into the sets. So we have Oliver Queen becomes Green Arrow. So it says, at the start of each of your turns. So you did change over. So start of each of your turns versus start of your turn. There's minor little differences like that. You may discard a card from your hand. If it's in equipment, you may put it under your superhero. If it's not, put a random card from under your superhero into your hand. So you can basically stash his equipment. Roy Harper became Arsenal. Once during each of your turns. So it's weird that this start of each of your turn said, then once during each of your turns. Interesting. You may put a superpower from the lineup under your superhero at the start of your turn. If there are 4 or more cards under your superhero, put +2 power, and you must destroy 4 cards under your hero. So again, also, the other big thing they've changed is a lot to the updating of the cards. They changed the letters from 4 spelled out to just the number. just I think to make it a little bit easier to understand. So So yeah, he's gonna basically stockpile superpowers, boost himself up, and then when there's 4 more under there, he can destroy them to gain +2. Alright, Felicity Smoke. Stays Felicity Smoke. It says, if you play 2 or more heroes during your turn, you may put the top card of the main deck under your superhero, or put a card from under your superhero into your hand. So equipment, superpowers, and heroes. John Diggle stays the same. When you use a defense card to avoid an attack, you may put that defense under your superhero. Once during each of your turns, you may put a defense from under your superhero on top of your deck. So it's a stock defense. Then the last one is our name changes. We have Sarah Lance became Black Canary. When you buy or gain a villain from the lineup, you may put it under your superhero. Once during each of your turns, you may put a villain from under your superhero at the bottom of your deck. Cool. So just gonna, each one plays with a different type of card. Alright, then we're gonna jump into our main deck. We're gonna start with our first big difference here for names is Laura Lance disappears and becomes Connor Hawk, Green Lantern's son. You may put but the text is the exact same. You may put a card from your hand under your superhero. If you choose not to, you may put a card from under your superhero into your hand. Moira Queen stays the same. Whoop, whoop, banged my camera. Put the top card of the main deck under your superhero. At the end of the game, this card is worth 1 VP for each different card under your superhero. Shadow stays the same. +1 power and draw a card. Defense, you may put this card from your hand. Put this card from your hand under your superhero to avoid an attack. If you do, draw 2 cards, and you may put a card from under your hand under your superhero. So the only big difference they changed in here is it says defense, put this card from your hand under your superhero to avoid an attack versus you may. And that's one of the big rule changes they've done recently, as they got rid of for defense of saying you may use this, because defense is always a may. You have the option to never use a card for defense. You can keep it in your hand. So they just got rid of that text. We have another change here. Detective Lance also disappears. Here goes the Lance family. To gain Emiko Queen. +3 power, name a card, then look at under 1 foe superhero. Gain 1 card with that name from under that superhero. So you're kind of paying attention to what they're putting under there. Alright, then for villains, we have Mr. Blank became Cupid. It's a massive change. +2 power, choose a foe, attack. Choose a card from under that foe's hero and put it into your hand. So it says, look at your cards under, then put one into your hand. It's just going to let you choose it. Obviously, if you have to choose, you have to look. Huntress became Brick. +2 power, you may destroy a card in your hand or discard power for each villain you buy or gain this turn. Bronze Tiger stays the same. +2 power, attack. Each foe reveals a card from their hand and puts it under their superhero. If 1 or more foes do not reveal a card with a cost of 1 or greater, draw 2 cards. It does the little number change in there. Alright. Then we have some more changes here. The Mirakuru becomes survival skills. If this is the first card you play this turn, you may put it in your hand. You may put it and your hand under your superhero. If you do, draw 4 cards. Otherwise, draw 1 card. This would be a great way to get a bunch of them cards under there quick. A promise to a friend. Ongoing +1 power. You may not destroy cards during your turn. You have failed the city. +2 power and choose a foe. Attack. Each chosen foe discards a card at random. I love that they kept this as a text, even though I don't think Green Arrow has ever said that. It's such a distinctive line. We have some equipment. We have the explosive arrow. +1 power and choose a foe. Attack. Destroy a card of your choice under that foe's superhero. Then put this card under your superhero. So this is again of your choice. And they add that in there again, just clarification. So that way your opponent's not like, oh, I'm going to make you choose this one. It doesn't say you get to choose. So it's specifying that. Arrow's bow became Green Arrow's bow. You may put a random card from under your superhero into your hand. If you choose not to, +2 power. Our location went from Verdant, the nightclub, into the Arrow Cave, which is definitely created after the show. At the start of each of your turns, you may put a card from your hand under your super. If you do, draw a card. Alright, then let's look at some super villains. Edward Friars stays the same. The first time a card tells you to draw 1 or more cards. During each of your turns, you may put one of the cards drawn this way under your super. Does change the word 1 to the number. China White. +3 power, you may destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. First appearance attack. Each player reveals the top card of the main deck and puts it under their superhero. If it is not a hero, discard a random card. Deadshot. +3 power, your next attack this turn must be avoided twice. First appearance attack. Each player reveals the top card of the main deck and puts it under their superhero. If it is not a villain, destroy the card at the cost of 2 or 3 in your hand or discard pile. Count Vertigo. Draw 3 cards and put one of them under your superhero. First appearance attack. Each player reveals the top 2 cards of their deck, puts one of them under your superhero, and puts the other under the superhero of the player on your left. Malcolm Merlin. +3 power. Defense. You may reveal this card from your hand to avoid an attack. Now, it's kind of, again, you may, and then it says now reveal this card. Because again, defense is always optional. First appearance attack. Each player reveals the top card of the main deck and puts it under the superhero. If it is not an equipment, discard and gain a weakness. Alright, we got another big change here. We have from Brother Blood to Prometheus. So Brother Blood's obviously a DC character, but he's more of a Teen Titan villain. Prometheus falls more in line with the fighting Green Arrow as more of like a street, kind of almost street level character, but he's also had a big role in the Cry for Justice storyline, which Green Arrow was a major part of. +4 power, draw a card. First appearance attack. Each player reveals the top card of the main deck, puts it under their superhero. If it is not a superpower, discard all cards at a cost of 4 or greater. Isabelle Rochev becomes Ravager. Choose a player, gain a card of your choice from under that player's superhero, then put it into your hand. First appearance attack. Each player puts the highest cost card from their hand under their superhero. Deathstroke. Slade Wilson became Deathstroke. They did change a little bit. So it's his first appearance. Attack cannot be avoided. They just started now calling them unavoidable first appearance attack. Each player destroys 6 cards of different card types under the super. For each card you fail to destroy this way, discard a card. Then the last one is the actual full change is Collapsible Staff. The equipment card became Canary Cry, the superpower. Has the exact same effect. Draw a card, gain all villains in the lineup, then put them under your superhero. And this is just to go at the fact that we have Black Canary as a hero, and she has the Canary Cry as a superpower. She doesn't really use a lance that much, or a collapsible staff, rather. And the other fact is that Sarah Lance at the time was not ever listed as being Black Canary, and she didn't have the Canary Cry. So, effect stays the exact same. This can only have a big implement in this set is because in the original version, in the Arrow, Oliver Queen is looking for equipment, so he just uses the collapsible staff. And then the second, in the newer one, it would be Arsenal, or Roy Harper's character, who can get a superpower, who's going to use the Canary Cry for the effects of their abilities. In both versions, either Sarah Lance or Black Canary are going to like either one of these cards because they're for villains, and they don't care about equipment or superpower. So that's the only difference there in the entire set. It's very interesting. Alright, so that's what we have for this very kind of quick little short video, but yeah. So, should you pick this up? Now, if this is being released by itself as a solo pack, I would definitely recommend it. Even if you had the Arrow, I'd say pick it up instantly. get it just because of the fact that none of your cards will match the comic book. If they'd done more of the CW stuff, if they went into The Flash, if they maybe went into Legends of Tomorrow, eventually like Black Lightning and some of the other ones, the Titans, Doom Patrol, if they stuck with that as a theme, then it wouldn't have been as bad, because then you could have had more guys mixed in here or there, or even made like a base set at some point. You know, like Supergirl and stuff too. You could have like a big base set, and you could start adding some of these just into that. You didn't want to mix and match the two different art styles. But now again, the issue becomes, if you own the other stuff, is this worth picking up just for that? That's entirely your call. Just because of the fact is it does all the exact same effects as it. If you can just get over the fact that it's not comic book artwork and you own the original Arrow set, it plays the exact same. Yeah, that's all we got for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out the rest of the DC deck building stuff. We have more stuff that came with this set. Came out with the Kickstarter at Justice League Dark. We had Rival Shazam versus Black Adam, as well as you can check out the other crossover stuff if you'd like to see some of the other little tweaks in there as well. Hope you guys enjoy this stuff. Hit me up in the comments. Bye.